Welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Jarrell, Texas. The builder we're looking at is Brightland Homes, and the community is Hunter's Glen. Now, Brightland Homes, I think, is probably one of the best builders out there in Jarrell right now. I have seen a lot of other builders out there, and when I tell you Brightland Homes stands out, you'll see right when you walk in. A couple things that just to point out is they do include some brick on the front of the house. You gotta love that for that curb appeal. But where you really notice the difference is when you walk in. Now this floor plan is called the Brightland floor plan, and it's 3 beds, 2 baths. It's part of their landmark series, and right now they currently have this one for sale at $324,990. Now, if you ever toured a Brightland home, you'll know that at $324,990, if you break that down from a cost per square footage, that is, let's see, very competitive. Let's see, do some quick math. 1610, that's 201 a square foot, which I know we can do a little bit better, but as a starting point, that is fantastic. Now note that this community is all electric. Most communities that I'm seeing in Jarrell are all electric. So if natural gas is a thing, we could find it, but it's not in these new construction communities that I've seen anyways. Now I really like what they did with the island here and this really deep sink. And again, all these home appliances right now, because we're in a nice buyer's market, these builders are offering some of the home appliances that we could definitely ask for. Okay, and let's see. So I think this builder and this area would be great for people who are, if you bought in Jarrell in the last 5 years and you're not so happy with the floor plan or the builder after living in the house for a year or two, or for a few years, then I would highly encourage you to take a look at Brightland Homes. Maybe we can make the numbers work, but you have to have been in your home for at least 3 or 4 years. If you bought during the pandemic, you probably don't have enough time to have built enough equity. But I have noticed that when I came to visit this community, the sales rep was telling me that they do get a nice influx of people from who have bought new homes in Jarrell, but they just aren't happy with the quality of the build. Now, I'll show you here a little bit later towards the end of the video on just all the builders that I'm tracking, at least in the area, so you can see for yourself. Because another big reason why I like this community is because you're on the other side, you're on the west side of I-35. So right now we're standing in the primary bedroom, so we're in the back half of the home, which is always nice. When it comes to privacy and noise, when they have the master bedroom in the back end of the house, right? And I really like what they did here with the master bath and the closet, how you can just see it straight away. Very, very nice. Now, I get asked all the time, what are some of the emerging markets? Where are some opportunity zones around the Austin area? And Jarrell is definitely one on the map. I mean, you have homes starting in the $200,000 range, making it a very affordable price point for a lot of folks. That's why I like Lennar, Centex, I believe LGI Homes, especially Lennar. Lennar has so many communities out here, and they are building like crazy, and they are selling like crazy. But if you've recently bought a Lennar home and you've been in it for a little bit and you're not so happy with the quality, Brightland Homes, I would urge you to consider to take a look. And Brightland Homes, I think, is in 1 or 2 other communities, so they're not in a whole bunch of communities in Jarrell like these other builders are. Now note that the washer and dryer is in here, so not every home that they're selling has you'll see the washer and dryer, because I think the buyer originally fell through for this home, so that's why we're seeing it here now. So a quick couple facts about this community. The 2.06 tax rate is very competitive, especially for if you look at the surrounding areas of other new builds. That's I've seen 2.3 and above for these other new build areas. So you're saving a little bit of money on there. HOA is $30 a month, and it's only that little because they don't have an amenity center yet. There's definitely plans in the works for one. If you stay towards the end of this video, I'll show you a drone shot of that. But it's in the works, but it's not there yet. This community does belong to Jarrell ISD. Like I said, there's going to be a future amenity center, and this is an all-electric community. Now, one thing to take a note of, especially for the Jarrell ISD district, is that I have attended some meetings where I know the Liberty Hill the people who made Liberty Hill and Leander what it is today, as far as these highly rated, top rated schools, and what was an initial draw for why those cities blew up to begin with, the city of Jarrell has recruited some of those people to come and build Jarrell ISD to make it Leander and Liberty Hill. So that's what makes me excited about this community, is because you are buying now for the future that everything will increase and we'll have a repeat of what Leander and what we saw in Liberty Hill, which is going to be really, really nice. Again, what I feel is going to be best for like the type of buyer looking here is if you work remotely, because Jarrell, there isn't a ton of things to do. I would consider it a very small town charm. If you want to really, as far as get all dressed up and do something nice, Georgetown is less than 15 minutes away. Costco is less than 15 minutes away. This is all in Georgetown. So you're really paying you're paying the difference you're paying as opposed to living in Jarrell then living in Georgetown, you'll notice in the monthly payment, right? So you really have to ask yourself, is that $500 to $1,000 in that difference in that mortgage payment worth it to you for that 15-minute drive that you're going to be commuting to Jarrell if you want to go do something on the weekend, right? Because the Georgetown Square has plenty, and they're always doing stuff on the weekend. But I also know too, and let me know in the comments, that north of Jarrell, let's see, in Salado, they also do stuff too. So in the north, there's just so many small towns, so you could do a lot of small town fairs and little farmers markets that I've seen. Now, I like this backyard because it has a oversized covered back patio, which is nice. If you noticed, a lot of builders in this area, they do not include the back patio or just a concrete slab. It's not covered because, again, they're trying to save cost. I've also seen that there's no gutters in a lot of these homes because they're trying to save cost, right? You are getting a home at a very comfortable price point, but you are leaving a lot on the table in terms of what you're getting in for your home. Now with Brightland Homes, they have a standard that I like, so you don't really feel that you don't feel you could feel the quality, and you can feel the difference when you're walking into a Brightland home as opposed to the other builders that I've seen on the other side of I-35. So I'll show you here with the map where these communities lie on the map here in a second. But I really wanted to show you that there's so many more lots available here. There's not enough people know about Hunter's Glen in Jarrell, Texas. And I hope this video, when you watch this video, you would consider it, because there's lots of opportunity here. Now, Double Creek Elementary School off yonder, not too far from here. And I really want to show you this other huge project. Look at this. This could be another possible 14,000 more homes if it ends up working out. They're obviously moving dirt, but I haven't heard that much more chatter from that project. So that you could see here, this is what the surrounding area looks like. You're almost all by yourself, right? So if you really want to be in the action, then this area probably won't work for you. But if you want a nice, quiet, peaceful life, then this area is going to work out for you beautifully, beautifully. Okay, so there it is. That's the home again. One more time. It's a corner lot. This is such a young community, and it hasn't gotten enough attention because not enough people know about it. Hunter's Glen in Jarrell, Texas. Okay, there's that. Let me share my screen here so I can show you a little bit of what's happening in the area. Okay, so here we have Jarrell, Texas. Right, we were just looking at Hunter's Glen, which is somewhere around here. Is it this one? Okay, that's it. Brightland Homes at Hunter's Glen. There's two builders in this area. There's Brightland Homes, and I believe there's Castle Rock Communities. But I like Brightland just a bit better than Castle Rock. But they definitely offer a different product, that's for sure. Now, one thing to note is that a lot of the 2-stories here in this community, they sell out very quickly. The 1-stories is what's been lingering on the market a little bit longer. So if you're looking for a 2-story, then that's something we have to jump on. So here, every orange icon you see is a builder that's building in this area. So you can see we have, what's this one? This was Sonterra by Suntex Homes, Centex, DR Horton at how do you pronounce that? Schwerner Ranch. Then you have KB Homes. You have Century Communities. These are all the names of the builders. Okay. Lennar. You have Starlight Homes, which is a subsidiary. It's just a smaller arm of Ashton Woods. It's the more affordable product. And then what do we have here? We have Century Communities and again Castle Rock. Okay. Now these are great builders because they provide a product that people want and can afford, right? But if you can afford a little bit more, and when we do our consultation, I can show you that's not much. It's not much, and if the difference is paying a little bit more, and I'm talking about from a cost perspective, that's only a couple $100. That would only add to your monthly payment a couple more $100, but you're getting a home that's going to appreciate and value better, and that will probably last because the quality and the workmanship is there, right? Then Brightland Homes is going to be your best bet. Okay. Now here's some other things happening in the area. You'll notice this big red line here. Like, what is that? This is the new. Okay, so this is the new East Williamson County Highway. This is like going to be, a decade in the making when it's all said and done to build this project. The big picture here, this segment will connect 137 to 3349 at County Road 404 in Hutto, and add a new roadway with one road in each direction, a center turn lane, and a sidewalk. Precinct 4 County Commissioner Russ Bowles at the groundbreak. There's a whole system of roads that we're putting together right as we speak. We're kind of at the epicenter of what's going on, of what's going to be the economic and cultural center of East Williamson County, the second largest project in Wilco, bond history underway. And this article talks about that. So when it's all said and done, you can kind of see here, that's what I was trying to replicate. So when it's all said and done, you're going to have another way, because right now, the only way to get to Jarrell from Austin proper is I-35, right? This is a major artery for Texas. This will take you north to south of Texas, major artery. But the thing about I-35 is that it can get congested, and it has those traffic hours where, it's going to be red. You're going to encounter traffic. So that presents a problem, but knowing that you have a secondary option here, because it's going to connect right here to take you to East Williamson County, right? And if you need to go down further south, you can always connect to 130 or just bypass, because right here, or just bypass some of these high traffic areas, right? The point being is that you're going to have another alternate way when it comes to transportation, which is a huge plus when it comes to future home values, right? Now, again, this is not done yet. This is not going to be done next year or the year after that. This is I think a 10 plus year project in the making, but just know that the money's already been there. It's going to take, it's going to be eight different segments. It's going to be multiple phases. So that's something to look forward to. Again, Jarrell, Texas, a lot of what they kind of brand themselves is very commuter friendly. They have high speed internet for those remote workers, and it's very affordable. The only thing that is, I think, a negative or something that you would have to consider is that there's just not much to do around here, right? If you're going to go for any form of entertainment and you want to be kind of close to the action in the city and just go people watching, then Georgetown's going to be your best bet, right? Which is not terribly far from Jarrell, right? You're talking at best maybe 15-20 minutes, right? To Georgetown, and that's without any traffic, right? And up here you have a Costco, right? Everything, all of your wants and needs as far as your conveniences, not to say there's not any grocery stores in Jarrell, but there's not a Costco yet in Jarrell, right? And there's no proper downtown or main street in Jarrell. It's very kind of, I would almost compare it to Liberty Hill, because there's not much of a downtown or main street in Liberty Hill either, right? So your best bet's going to be either Georgetown or Round Rock if you're going to be looking for things to do for as far as activities. If you're a family or if you're a couple, it's going to be Georgetown or Round Rock for sure. That's nearest to Jarrell. Okay, so again, if you bought on this side, you could just see how many more builders there are on this side too. Maybe you don't want that many people around you. You just saw how in Hunter's Glen, there's half of that. There's not even anything remote to that. You can see there's not that many players here on the west side of I-35. All the buildings happening on the east side, right? So, but that is to say that there'll probably be future more builders here, I would say. This is just what I'm tracking so far, and this is kind of what we saw off in the distance with that dirt being moved. Open community late 2026. So this community is set to rise at Solana Ranch, a 9,000-acre cattle and wildlife ranch along the I-35 corridor between Georgetown and Temple, about 45 miles north of downtown Austin. Okay. I know, so it's the McCaw family has owned Solana Ranch for more than half a century. Let's see, traditional Texas town with a wide range of housing types, along with shopping, dining, offices, entertainment, recreational facilities, schools and churches. There will also be a robust network of paths and trails for walkers or bikers. This community will be built out in a series of villages. That's interesting. So this is where the municipal utility district approved for 14,000 home community north of Jarrell. So this was written in 2023, and we did see dirt moving there in the video. So that is exciting because that's probably the next huge master plan community that's coming. That's going to be neighboring this community of Hunter's Glen. So we can kind of see there, right there. That's what we were looking at just now. So that's not terribly far from this community, and I'm not too sure because again, look, you could see that there's what they've kind of sectioned out for future lots, but I don't know which direction they're going to be building out when they go to the next phase. It's all going to be determined by buyer demand. So if you're looking for a home in the low to mid 300s, then this community would be a really good fit for you. I know we could find something, and they currently have a few homes available that are single story. I don't think Brightland Homes has any 2 stories available. Then but let me know in either in the comments or if you want to reach out to me if you're looking for 2-story and you like this video and you like Brightland Homes and you want to see when the next one's going to be built out, because they already submitted the paperwork to the city to get the plans approved for another 2-story. So it's just a matter of when. Okay, so what should you do next if you want to tour this community or if you want to work with me? I'll have all my information linked in the description. And just feel free to text or call me. And if you really want to take a deep dive into the numbers or into your specific situation, then let's do a virtual consultation. I love my discovery calls because then we can really, I can share my screen, we can deep dive, and we can really figure out where you're at in the process and see how I can be of best value to you. Now, yeah, I'll leave that for the next video. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin Realtor with eXp Realty, and I'll catch you in the next one.